Hector was astonished at the thought. He turned his head and looked toward Dustin, finding him calm and collected. It appeared as if he were an outsider in the situation. However, that was exactly what made him indiscernible. Upon deep reflection, Hector realized that the Harmons situation had taken a turn for the better when Dustin started challenging Tyler. Was this young man in front of him really the person who turned the tide? It would be frightening if that were the case. Mr. Hector, I'm needed elsewhere, so I'll be taking my leave first. George left after saying his goodbyes. He didn't expose Dustin's identity as he was worried about making things complicated for him. Some things were better left untold. Guess there's no more fighting. I'll be leaving too. Paul gave Dustin a knowing look before leaving with his head held high. Mr. Hector, see you next time. Sir Moran shook his hand and left as well. As the influential figures departed, the ballroom livened up even more. Not only did the guests discuss among themselves, but even the Harmons were making their own speculations. Dad, I can't believe you're influential enough to be able to invite Sir Paul and Lord Zenos over. You're amazing. Natasha walked up with a huge smile on her face. With two influential figures backing them, she was sure Tyler wouldn't dare force her hand in marriage any longer. She considered herself to have broken free from him. Hector, it seems you have more tricks hidden up your sleeves. I'm impressed. Trent and a few of his people went up to Hector as well. Each of them looked proud, their faces brimming with excitement. With Lord Zenos and Sir Paul backing them, the Harmons would be unstoppable. Trent, it wasn't me. I don't have that kind of influence. Hector remained modest and shook his head. Then who could it be if it wasn't you? Trent was puzzled and confused. I'm wondering the same thing. Hector rubbed his chin and glanced at Dustin once again. He asked meaningfully, Dustin, do you know who could have invited them? Before Dustin could respond, a clear and loud voice interjected, Uncle Hector, there's no need to speculate any longer, as that would be me. The crowd turned their heads in the direction of the voice and saw Dylan walking over proudly. Dylan, are you acquainted with Lord Zenos and Sir Paul? Trent was pleasantly surprised. Although I don't know them personally, they appeared because of me. Dylan was confident. Oh, why do you say so? Trent was taken aback. I'm associated with the Dark Panther Cavalry, and I have the backing of the Goddess of War. It's likely that they recognized my potential and talent and decided to help out. Dylan's head was held high. That's right. Dylan is the Scarlet Warrior's trusted aide. It's natural for Lord Zenos to take a liking to him, Kate chimed in. So that's why. No wonder Lord Zenos was that enthusiastic. Dylan truly is exceptional to have gained the favor of the two influential figures. Dylan, I didn't know you had such powerful connections. You're amazing. At that moment, the crowd showered him with praises, hailing him as their savior. Jacob laughed heartily and was filled with pride. My son is so talented. He was clued in on Sir Moran's appearance. However, he didn't expect his son to be so skilled that he would garner Lord Zenos and Sir Paul's attention. I think there's more to this. Dylan's status is not enough to impress the Viceroy, Natasha said after thoughtful consideration. She noticed George never even glanced at Dylan throughout the entire ordeal. You're just jealous. Kate snorted. You sure are jealous of Dylan, even when you are talentless. How petty is that? If you are unhappy about Dylan, tell me, who else is better than him? Kate's remark caught Natasha off guard. Dylan was indeed the best among other family members in their generation because of his government ranks. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. Is it that hard to admit that Dylan's better than you? Kate sneered at her. Natasha, you dodged a bullet today, all thanks to me. You'd better show some gratitude, Dylan chimed in, much to Natasha's dismay. He and Kate seemed to be working together to bring her down. All thanks to you? How? Dustin did not like it when they laughed at Natasha. Lord Zenos is a viceroy, and you're just a colonel. You're nowhere near his level, so why did you think he showed up for you? Are you claiming that he showed up for you? Dylan scoffed. You guessed right. He came here because of me. Dustin nodded, much to everyone's surprise. But the surprise soon turned into dismissive laughter. Ha ha ha. Have you lost your mind? Why would you even say that? Dustin Rhys, who do you think you are? What do you have to invite the Viceroy? Me. You seem to have forgotten your place after tasting a little bit of power. The members of the Harmon family looked at him disdainfully as though he was a complete fool. How dare a country doctor and a kept man make such an outrageous claim? Dustin, do you really know Lord Zenos? Natasha was quite dumbstruck. I saved Mrs. Zeno's life a few days ago. He owed me a favor, he confessed. He owed you a favor? Ha! You really flatter yourself. With Lord Zeno's rank, he can call on any reputable doctor he wants from the military. Why does he need the help of a country doctor who's more form than substance? Dylan sneered at Dustin. Exactly. Dustin, you're too presumptuous. The audacity to name-drop Lord Zenos so casually. You have no shame at all. Kate smirked. Believe it or not, that's the truth. Dustin dropped another bombshell. I cured Mrs. Zeno's illness and saved Sir Paul from death. Upon hearing this statement, the people around him burst into even louder laughter, staring at Dustin as if he were a complete clown. Are you seriously telling me that Sir Paul came here because of you? Dylan snickered. Absolutely. Dustin nodded matter-of-factly. Dylan threw his head back as he laughed. Oh, Dustin, I never thought you could be so thick-skinned. That was eye-opening. Natasha, I never thought you'd fall for an incompetent man who bluffs. Kate made a cynical jab, jumping on the opportunity to insult her cousin. That was embarrassing. I felt second-hand embarrassment just watching. Zoe shook her head from the crowd. Zeke, with a derisive look on his face, added, to be honest, I kind of admire his ability to lie with a straight face. Gordon snickered. Well, a thick-skinned man is practically invincible. No one believed that a loser like Dustin, who had neither authority nor influence, was somehow acquainted with a big shot like Paul Hill. What's so funny? Dustin asked nonchalantly. What's not funny about the entire thing? Sir Paul is a legendary figure in the martial arts field and a grandmaster. It's rather ridiculous to boast about saving his life, don't you think? Without a word, Dustin slammed an ornate silver badge onto the table. Engraved on it was the Hill family's last name, a consultant badge. When the crowd took a good look at the badge, they collectively gasped as their smiles froze. I thought you guys loved to laugh at others. Why aren't you laughing now?